Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. How's everybody doing? We're here with the second to last picks video of the year. We have the conference championship games here upon us this weekend. We have both games tomorrow at 1 to 3:05 Eastern Time. That's the AFC Championship game. Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs. And then tomorrow night, 6:40 p.m., we have the Packers at the San Francisco 49ers for the NFC Championship game. Last two games of the year. I mean, this is a pretty interesting way for it all to go down here, because with the exception of, the Chiefs, it's all fresh blood here in the playoffs. I mean, or in the conference championship game, rather. I mean, really in the playoffs as well. I mean, you have the 49ers, who I don't believe have been to the conference championship game since 2012. You've got the Packers, who haven't been in it for a few, I think, since like 2016, so like 4 years now. The Titans, who haven't been in this thing since like 2002. And then the Chiefs, of course, were hosting the AFC Championship game last year as well, where they lost to the Patriots. I mean, the overall takeaway here is no Patriots in the conference championship weekend this year, which is the first time this has happened since 2010, okay? So you have to go back a decade to find the last time that the New England Patriots were not in the AFC Championship. It's like the Patriots Invitational every year. It's the Super Bowl is basically. And this is the first year they're not in the thing in like 10 years. It's amazing. Or I mean, it's not, maybe I guess if you're a fan, it's not amazing, but pretty stunning. Then you combine that with the fact that the friggin' Tennessee Titans are in there. I mean, everybody thought, the Ravens, I mean, they're Super Bowl locks, and then they got bounced by Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. And then on the NFC side, the Packers are one of these teams I feel like have just kind of underachieved. Like, I mean, they kind of, they go to the dance, maybe not the big dance, but like they're in the game every year at the end of the year, maybe divisional round, wild card, divisional round, every few years they'll go to the conference championship game. And I think, what if they only been to the Super Bowl once or twice or something? It's like Aaron Rodgers should have won like 3 or 4 by now. And he didn't. But I mean, a lot of the times it's because the team around him is not very good. In some years, he just doesn't give a damn. So it's kind of one of those things. Then, of course, you have the San Francisco 49ers hosting the game, who look a lot different actually completely different than the last time that they were in this game in 2012 when they had Colin Kaepernick and Harbaugh was the coach. Now you got Shanahan as the coach, Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback. High-flying, San Francisco offense, Kittle, Sanders, all those guys. Defense is really good. And then you look at this Packers team who... It's kind of like the Seahawks. It's like Aaron Rodgers pulling plays out of his keister, and then that's it. And that's the whole team. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes down here. And then as far as the AFC Championship game goes, Derrick Henry, like I said, running over guys the whole playoffs. I mean, really the whole tail end of the year. I mean, this guy just kind of came out as a complete steamroller running over teams. And then, of course, you've got the Chiefs hosting the AFC Championship game as they did last year. When they were beat by the Patriots. So we're going to do this game. We'll just do the first game first, which is the AFC Championship game. I have my game. I mean, I know I always have the game shown in the video is the quote-unquote game of the week. I have there's only 2 games here. I went with the Packers and the 49ers just because it feels like it just feels like that's kind of a game where it's like some crazy stuff could start happening. Whereas if Kansas City loses this game, and they're clearly favored, if Kansas City loses this game, and Tennessee gets the upset, it's going to be because Derrick Henry just ran dudes over for an hour. Like, you know what I mean? It's like not... It just feels like we're more prone to have fireworks in the Packers-49ers game. But anyways, that's why I have that as the video here. But anyway, so the Titans-Chiefs game we have here. So, like I said, the Titans have not been in this thing since, friggin' 17 years? It was the 2002 season, I believe. So if you go back... all the way to, man, I wish I could get in a time machine and go back to 2002. That was 2002, man. 2002. Like that was a year, all right? I mean, 2002 you had what wasn't there going on? I mean, you had the Raiders going to the Super Bowl and losing to the Buccaneers, of course. You had just the world was just, okay, man, I don't know, like 9/11 the Air Force was really bad, but I mean, like, it's just certain things. Like, you could go to, in 2002, you could go to Blockbuster. You know what I mean? Remember I mean, you probably don't, but I mean, come on, all right? You had the Lakers winning the NBA Finals. You had just the world. I mean, everything was just better. You had dial-up for internet. Everything was just more nuanced and calm and kind of better in a lot of ways, and perhaps not others. But I mean, you get the idea. If that was the last time that the Titans were competing for, or wait, you know what? Was it? No, it wasn't 2000. It was 2002. No, because the Raiders won. The Raiders beat the Buccaneers in 2002 in the Super Bowl, which means was the AFC Championship. I'm trying to figure out how far they. Because it wasn't 2003 because the Patriots won in 2003. So 2002 was it the Raiders and the Titans? I'm pretty sure the Patriots kind of sucked ass that year. So I mean, it was yeah, okay, so it was the Titans lost to the Raiders in the AFC Championship. All right, that's what I thought. All right, so that was the last time the Titans got to the AFC Championship game was in 2002. So I mean, that just kind of tells you everything you need to know about what's going on here. So I look at this game and I feel like the only we know that Kansas City's offense is one of the most high-powered, explosive, high-flying offenses to ever take the field. The concern there, I mean, the Chiefs should win this game. The Chiefs should win this game 6 ways from Sunday. But the reason why, I'll get to my pick in a second. But the Chiefs should clearly win this game. The firepower, just everything they've got, they should win the game. The problems here for the Chiefs are, and I love Andy Reid and I want him to win, a championship, definitely. But the problem with Andy Reid that we've seen for like friggin' 20 years now is he gets to the it's time to poop or get off the pot. If you're like, he gets to the dance every single year, and then oh crap, there's like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and we're down by 6, and we got 2 timeouts, and there's a 2-minute warning, and then they've got the ball, and it's like when you have to make those decisions, he can't do it. Like last year, he's in overtime against the Patriots. Patriots are storming down the field to get the game-winning touchdown. He's got all his timeouts, so a touchdown wins the game, and he's just he's just not calling his timeout. He's not helping his defense get set. They're getting torched. And it's like the game management. The clock. There's that, which you saw at the beginning of the game against the Texans last week in the divisional round, where the Chiefs go out there at home and they're down 24-0 in the first quarter against the Texans, who were pretty good. But I mean, come on, the Chiefs are way better. You're down 24-0, and if it wasn't for like all these fluke things happening, like friggin' guys returning kicks having to just go right up out of their hands into somebody's hands to walk into the end. Like, if all that stuff didn't just start happening, and the Chiefs' offense didn't just start, scoring like 7 consecutive touchdowns, they would. I mean, you're down 24-0 in a playoff game, you lose, right? I mean, it's pretty much a given. So if it wasn't for like the high-powered offense making up for their, the defense has been better this year, but it's not a great defense. I mean, it's not like San Francisco or New England's was, or it's not like that. But I mean, it's also not like a complete sieve like it was last year. If it wasn't for just how amazing and fast that offense is, they would have lost the game. And so it's like, if Kansas City could score 7 consecutive touchdowns at the end of the game, they could have done it at the beginning of the game. Like, they could have won 70-0, but they're not. There's that X factor there, the coaching and the focus and the defense and playing 60 minutes and, both sides of the ball, every phase of the game being tuned in. Like, Kansas City comes out there and and they just, throwing wheel routes to, Tyreek Hill, and they're got, Kelsey going up in the, like, that's what they do. But if all of a sudden they have to, as we saw in the AFC Championship game last year when New England beat them, it's like, if you get up on them and then you start, running the ball, keeping Mahomes on the sideline, making them have to start making, decisions about, okay, let's see, should we stack the box and stop the run, and then maybe that's going to open the pass, and then, okay, well, we got this many minutes left, and it's 4th and 1, and we're on our 49. Do we want, but, once you make them start having to do that, they, historically, these Andy Reid teams just can't do it. They just can't, going back to Donovan in 2004 in the Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb. I mean, it's like, you go all the way back to then, and it's like, okay, Andy Reid, you got like a minute. Here they come. Here the Patriots are coming. They're gonna win. Just doesn't do anything. It's like, geez, it's like, holy cow. It's rough. It is rough with this team in the playoffs. It's not. I mean, and they get there almost every year, but it's like, you can't. They just don't. It doesn't. It's like, hello. It's frustrating. But anyways, so you get that factor. I mean, the Chiefs should win the game, all right? But the problem is with this is This guy Derrick Henry. Well, first of all, if you told me like a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, that Ryan Tannehill would be in the AFC Championship game, I would laugh, and then I would tell you you're crazy, and then I would look it up because then I would kind of be concerned that maybe he is, because that's the kind of thing. I mean, it's so ridiculous you wouldn't even make it up. But nonetheless, Ryan Tannehill. The Titans' success has not been about Ryan Tannehill. Okay, Ryan Tannehill in the regular season, he was making some. He was making some throws. He was slinging it all over he was pretty good, right? But then in the the postseason, the defenses really clamped down and they're really dialed in, and he kind of sucks. And basically, the whole thing about the Titans is this guy Derrick Henry, a human steamroller, a human locomotive, is just completely and utterly running a train through defender like this. This is like an offensive lineman who's fast. It's like once he gets his ass per square foot thing, just going at a high speed, you can't there's just too much ass going too fast. You can't unless you're a brick wall, you can't stop that. You can't. You saw Earl Thomas, who goes out there and he's like, oh well, Patriots didn't really seem like they were interested in tackling them. And Derrick Henry goes out there and he's just slapping Earl Thomas around. And it's like So, we know what's going to happen in this game. What's going to happen is the Titans are going to come out there, right? They're going to get the ball, and they're going to give it to Derrick Henry, and he's just going to start running straight through guys' face for the whole thing. And the question is, if the Chiefs are going to win, they have to, because you can't just let Derrick Henry run for 250 yards and get time of possession 41-19 and expect you can't do it, because the Chiefs defense has been better, but you can't it's not, you can't, you know what I mean? If Mahomes is only getting a few cracks at it, it's you can't, the Titans defense, they're not the best defense, but they're pretty good. Mike Vrabel's going to have his guys dialed in and ready to go. They're not going to, you're not going to shut out the Chiefs, but you're not going to let them score 51 either. The question, in assuming the Titans can go down, okay, run, touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, and say it's 20. I got the Titans scoring 24 points, 27 points, 24, something like that. And if you limit the Chiefs' time of possession, in assuming that they're going to score, 3 touchdowns, field. I got the Chiefs winning the game because I know that Derrick Henry can run the ball like nobody's business, but this is the problem the Titans have. I'll grant you all that they can run the ball and the Titans are a great team. All that. The problem is this is their third playoff game in a row. Okay, and so at this point, the whole world is on notice that Derrick Henry, what the Titans are going to do is going to give the ball to Derrick Henry, and then he's going to run it down your throat. And if you can't stop him, you're not going to win. Okay? Everybody knows that that's the game plan. Now, if somehow the Chiefs stop Derrick Henry and make Tannehill throw, well, then the game's over. Because Tannehill cannot keep up with Patrick Mahomes in the high-flying Chiefs. You can't do it. Not going to happen. Okay? So, it's the whole world knows at this point that that's what they're going to do. It's not like, they had a bye week the first week, and then last week they kind of mixed up, and then this week it's okay, let's unleash Derrick Henry. No, they've been doing it every single week, and so now the Chiefs know, okay, well, this is clearly what they're doing, right? So, basically, if you stack the box and even when you stack the box, he's still getting 5 yards. But then he'd have to run it 20 times to or 25 times, whatever, you know what I mean? To get, down the field, because you've seen some drives where they just hand it to him on every single down. So it's if you stack the box and you can stop him and make Tannehill throw, then, still, you're not going to stop him for a loss every time. But if you can limit him to 5 yards, or 3, 4, 5 yards, something like that, and don't let him just rip off these runs, and then you can be really efficient on offense, score a touchdown or field goal, get points on every drive. Your Chiefs are going to win the game because, you know what? No, I got the Chiefs winning the game because of that reason. It's because you can't. It's going to be 3 weeks in a row now. Everybody knows the Chiefs know what the Titans are going to do. That Derrick Henry's going to run the ball. And honestly, if you stack the box and make guys play one-on-one coverage on receivers and just dare Ryan Tannehill to beat you, I mean, yeah, he's going to get some completions. He's going to throw a pick, probably throw a pick against the Patriots. I mean, he's going to be perfect, but I mean, you would take, the Titans sort of half-assed, we really want to run the ball and we're doing an okay job, but we're not doing as well as we thought, and so Tannehill's going to throw. Like, that offense is going to be way worse than the Chiefs' offense, right? So, I mean, you just have to take the Chiefs. Yeah, you have to take the Chiefs. I mean, I know Tennessee's going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to have success. They might even have a lead early, but, and the other thing you can't discount is Vrabel. Like, Vrabel's going to play you saw against New England, and it's hard to criticize Bill Belichick because, how smart he is and accomplished he is, but, I mean, you saw what he did, with running the time off the clock, with the punts, taking penalties, and, like, all those, the gamesmanship of the whole thing. Vrabel's a guy that can do that, but it's like, it's this thing where Kansas City's offense is so good that it almost doesn't. It's not that it doesn't matter. It's just that it's not enough to overcome that. And so I feel like the Chiefs are not going to go down 24-0 again. I mean, we saw that's the other thing. What we saw last week. Even if somehow the Titans went up let's say 24-0 on the Chiefs, we saw last week that doesn't mean jack because just they come roaring back, score 51 points. It's like there's just not a lot of paths to victory here for the Titans, so I've got the Chiefs winning this game. Next game, the Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. So, the thing with the Packers, is that they are not very good, which is difficult to say because, they were the second seed in the NFC. They had a pretty good year. Aaron Rodgers has been great. They won, bye week, the first week, won in the, took care of business in the divisional round against Seattle, who's played well this year, even though it's basically just Russell Wilson, like nobody else. But you look at this Packers team, and I feel like, it's Aaron Rodgers. But I feel like their reputation is better than the team. Like people think about the Packers in the playoffs, and you think about Aaron Rodgers, 20 seconds left, down by 4. The other team's 45. Hail Mary into the end zone. Unbelievable. Completed with no time left. They win the game. And, that whole thing, right? You think about the Packers and you think about Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, and that's what you think about. But what you don't think about is that this Packers team, it's okay. Like, it's all right. I mean, it's not. The reason why they're the second seed in the NFC had more to do with their schedule and the fact that the NFC was so competitive this year that, you saw in week 17, a win or a loss by a team meant the difference between the first seed and the fifth seed. Between, I think it was the 49ers and the Seahawks, the Saints, it was all, it came down to, one win shuffled the whole deck. So, it's not like it was, they had this thing locked up on their own the whole year. No. So it's other than Aaron Rodgers, this team is a kind of pedestrian team, you know what I mean? But and I don't discount what Aaron Rodgers can do. It's just that, and then the other thing too is San Francisco. Both of these teams had bye weeks, right? So they're both playing off of last week's footage. And you look at San Francisco, who, they're really good. They're sort of I've described them as the West Coast Patriots. They're well coached, they sound fundamental football, play well on both sides of the ball in all phases of the game. They're not the best defense, but a really good defense. Great passing attack, great run game. They can do it all. Now, are they a complete fire wagon like the Chiefs? No, but they're good. They're really good. But more so than they're good, they're sound. That's the other. It's not just they're the Chiefs and they're going to go down by 24 and then win with 51 points. It's not that. They're sound. They're tuned in, and they're well coached. Now the X factor for the 49ers is if the Packers make this a close game, and the 49ers are down by 4 with 2 minutes left, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to come down the field. This dude's throwing a pick. That's the thing. Jimmy Garoppolo's really good. He's a really great quarterback. Makes great, just money throws. And also will just throw a really bad, untimely pick. That's the thing. For every, 9 great throws, there's, one, what the hell are you doing? Why you, throws it right to the corner or gets strip sacked. It's or just stands in the pocket and just stares at a receiver and gets sacked or stares, throws a pick and, but he's really good. 9 out of 10 times, he's money. But then that one time when it's clutch, need to go down the field, this is important, don't screw this one up. throws a pick. Like, that's the thing about him. You know what I mean? It's not like he's not inconsistent. He's consistent far more of the time than he's inconsistent. It's just when he's inconsistent, it's bad. It's like does like a linebacker. It's like he's playing catch with the line. It's like just throws right to the guy, or just isn't aware that doesn't feel the pressure, gets strip sacked, loses. I mean, it's like he's really good, but he's really good until he isn't. But the defense, everything else about that team can compensate for that. It's just that if it's a high pressure situation, you can't rule out he's going to make a critical mistake in a really critical area, and so that's kind of what gives me pause about the 49ers in a game like this. But I feel like it's like they're it's at home and they're better than the Packers. I mean, this Packers team it's Aaron Rodgers. Okay, this Packers is Aaron Rodgers, and it's Aaron Rodgers. So it's like if the 49ers are well coached and they're smart enough to know that, but it's like they're smart enough to know that, and they're smart enough to be ready to stop Raw. And I don't see I just don't see it's in San Francisco. I just don't see how the Packers can win. I mean, not because they're not good enough. It's just that everybody knows what okay. We've seen Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs not 100%, but like many times we've seen Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, and we know it's okay. Okay, he's got 5 wide out, and this is that stupid announcer voice. He's got 5 wide out of the gun with 30 seconds left on the clock. No timeouts for Green Bay. Play clock winds down to 5. He signals his receivers in wide and then back out left. He sees man coverage, calling an audible at the line. Rodgers takes the ball. It's like he's gonna do all that, run around, because like it's freaking recess and you're playing tag. He's gonna run around. He's gonna left to right and up here and through the pocket and around and he's gonna throw it up in the air and then it's gonna get batted around and it's gonna be like dual possession and 2 guys are gonna have it and then they're gonna replay it for like 30 minutes. It's going to go to review, and everybody's going to dispute who had it, and then they'll give it to the Packers, and then they'll go to the Super Bowl, and then what? It's like, if the Packers are going to win, that's the script, okay? That's what's going to happen, all right? And then if the 49ers win the game, it's going to be like, okay, Jimmy Garoppolo on the field. Packers are up by 5 with just needing to take a knee to close it out and send the team on to Miami for Super Bowl 54. Then that's how they're going to win. I guess I'm just doing these now. And then if the Chiefs win the game, it's going to be like, and Patrick Mahomes comes onto the field to take a knee, having outscored the Tennessee Titans by a score of 78-12. If the Titans win the game, everybody's going to be like, can't even freaking believe it. The Titans win the game, it's like, and Derrick Henry knocks over the goalpost and crashes through the back wall of the end zone and runs into the parking lot and starts knocking over cars because he's a friggin' force. But, all right, enough of indulging you with that. Well, myself, really. But anyways, I think the 49ers winning this. It's like there's just if the Packers are going to win, there's one path to victory. Everybody knows what it is, and the Packers have the personnel to take care of that. So yeah, I've got a 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl. Now, I'll tell you what I'm rooting for. I am rooting for the opposite of what I said. I want a Titans-Packers Super Bowl because screw the league. That's why. I don't want the league's darlings going as there's something about that. I just don't. The league wanted Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and they wanted it to be like Lamar Jackson and I don't know, like the Cowboys. That's the league office is they're just dreaming about it at night. They wanted that, or it's and the Cowboys were never getting the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? They wanted the league's darling teams going to the Super Bowl, which is why I want the teams that nobody cares about, like the Titans. People care about the Packers, but it's not. I mean, sort of, but it's not like they don't have the buzz like these other teams do. Some of them. So yeah, I want the Titans. I want the Titans and the Packers. I mean, I expect it to be the Chiefs and the 49ers, but I want the Titans and the Packers, and I want the Titans to win the Super Bowl because screw everybody. That's why I want the Titans to win because that's the Titans. Well, okay, well, it's like when you watch the Oscars. I want all the just the shittiest movies. I want it to be. You win, what? Those movies, there's those certain movies that come out that it's I don't know, those ones where people get too excited about them. Not good, the ones that are sort of social, cultural pieces of, commentaries on the when people, you open like the New Yorker and like, oh, this is a stunning portrayal of a. I always root for stuff like that. So like, I want like Alvin and the Chipmunks shipwrecked. Like, I want to just upset like, whatever they're rooting for. I want the other one. You know what I mean? Or like, you watch whatever, like college football. It's like, oh, it's Alabama, here they come. It's Clemson. It's all I want like the friggin' like some Division 3, like the word. That's what I root for. Just upsets. That's what I that's literally what I do. Like I want the best teams to lose. I want the whatever it is that everyone's like all like lathering themselves up about, and I want them to lose. I want the worst team to win. I don't mean worst team like the one everybody hates. I mean worst team like the one where it's like, oh my god, how the hell are we gonna market this team? Like that's the one. That's what I want. I want the league's darlings to lose, and I want the boring. I want a Bengals Buccaneers Super Bowl. That's what I want. I want one where it's like, just you put it. It's like, what the hell is like the? I want it to be so bad that the league has to like start rigging the game because they can't. It's like unthinkable that the Super Bowl could be that bad. That's the game that I want. Not that the Titans and the Packers are that, but you get the idea. Whatever the flashy thing is, I don't want it. Okay, like whatever the you get the idea. Anyways, but that I'm expecting the Chiefs and the 49ers, but I want the Titans and the Packers because screw everybody. That's why. All right, guys, what's going to do for this week's picks? Same last week. Other than that, until next time, for this one, guys, thanks for watching.